Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I am Arphel. I basically am on a journey, a wellness journey for better mental health and better physical health. For the physical health, I am doing a 120-day challenge where I started out at 229 pounds, and right now I'm at about 182, given that I've lost 45 pounds in just under 3 months. So the end of that challenge is going to be September 16th. But I do also have to get a back surgery. So we'll see where the cards may fall. I was really looking for a lifestyle change when I started out on this journey, and that is still the goal. Also, on the side of mental health, that's where this video comes in. But before I go ahead and dive more deeper into that, consider subscribing, consider liking. I am really trying to build a community and as well as build my watch hours. I'm not gonna lie, but please consider subscribing. So what I really want to quickly talk about is my week 2 of my Spravato treatment, which, if you are unfamiliar with that, it is a nasal spray that is used to treat treatment resistant depression. I suffer from depression, a major depressive disorder, CPTSD, chronic post traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and a plethora of other mental challenges that come my way. But guess what? We keep fighting. So that's a little bit of a background on me and what I'm trying to do here. And just sometimes I'll get on and talk about random things, but lately it's been very focused towards the challenge as well as some mental health things that might help others as well as continue to help me, because what's something that might work for me might not be something that works for the second person, but might work out great for the third or fourth person, right? So just putting it out there, hope it is helpful. But with that being said, consider subscribing and let's jump into week 2 of our Spravato treatment. So week 2 was a bit challenging, I would say, just given the fact that you cannot drive you cannot drive yourself to your Spravato treatments. You have to be dropped off. The treatment takes about 2 hours and then you get picked up. Well, I did not have any. Well, my mom, she's retired, so she couldn't drive me, just because of her health issues, as well as my dad. He works still, so he wasn't able to drive me either, and I didn't ask, because I was like, I'll find a way. And in finding so, I contacted my health insurance provider, and they do offer transportation services. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to use them. It'll be a great idea. So, with that being said, I was off on my second week adventure on Spravato, looking for that treatment, uh, looking to help with my treatment resistant depression. So the first day of my treatment, basically the ride showed up late, and basically I went there about 15 minutes later to the clinic and the room that I usually get assigned. It's super dark, or well, they turn off the light and then it becomes dark. But I was unable to procure that room just because I was late, due to the transportation company being late. Well, I went ahead, and this week we also bumped up the treatment, so it was three nasal sprays, versus, I mean, doing it 3 times versus it wasn't 3 different nasal sprays. It was just doing it, once, twice, and the third time. Total of 0.86 milligrams, I believe it is. Still nothing too crazy to report as far as any type of things that I saw, any type of disassociation that I felt. Nothing like that per se. I would still say that I felt a little bit better throughout the week. I felt less horrible. I was able to get some stuff done. I do feel that I am able to uphold commitments that I've made to myself. And that's very important for me, because I will say I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to conquer the world, but then I can't even conquer the porcelain throne sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I digress. Point is, I am trying, and so that treatment went well. I'm very open to it, whether I see instant reaction, or well, not reaction. I would hope there wouldn't be a reaction, but if I whether I see an um, instant relief in symptoms or not, I am positive that the medicine is working in the background, because again, it has helped out people, not countless people's grammar, I swear, but I'm positive it's gonna work, right? Like it has to. Whereas in 8 different antidepressants have not worked, right? So this has to work. This is going to work. Treatment ended, and then it was time for me to come home. Well, they basically, it took them almost, I want to say, another 2 hours to come and get me, just because the driver said that they had already made it back to my city, and then they had to come out all the way, which is like about a 30-minute drive. They had to come back out and get me. So that was interesting. Well, come Thursday, we ran into some more issues, which was that my insurance procured a company to pick me up in the morning. I am ready for my appointment. I am excited, and I'm looking forward to it. I get a text message like, "Hey, your ride is about to leave." I'm like, "Well, nobody called, but okay. Good thing I'm ready, right?" So I'm ready to go. I walk up to the vehicle and I see a Uber sticker, and I'm like, "Okay, well, this is weird," because if it was Uber, I would have gotten Uber myself. But I was told by my provider, the provider of the Spravato, which is Greenbrook's TMS. If you want to look them up, if you're in the area, they do have locations all over the U.S., so it might be helpful. But I was told by them that, hey, you need to have a medical transport. So I'm texting this person from, I believe it was Melanin Transportation, some bullshit name like that. But they went ahead and they're like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, just call this number or text this number when you're ready. And I'm like, okay, well, will it be an actual medical transport? Because that's what the clinic requested. They're like, okay, so on and so forth. Not really a whole lot of back and forth, because I don't do that. I don't have time. I called my insurance provider and I'm like, hey, so this person hired a Uber, and I'm pretty sure they're charging you for medical transport, but they're sending out a Uber. I could have done that. So they called, and this person, the owner or the manager, whoever the fuck it was, decided to be like, oh yeah, maybe you got into the wrong car. And I'm like, no, I didn't, because they already had the address. They already knew what time I was supposed to be there. They had all the information. So there's like 0% chance that this Uber was procured by me. So, long story short, they made up some bullshit stories, and then they canceled my ride. And now, again, once again, I go in, get my treatment. I've been told by the insurance provider that, hey, by the time you're done, we'll have something figured out. Don't worry, go do your thing. I get out, and I'm waiting. I wait an hour, still nothing. I call them at about an hour and a half. They're like, okay, well, we're trying to contact dispatch, and we haven't really procured a ride yet. So I was like, all right. So I go back up to the clinic and I tell them, like, hey, this is what's going on. I just want to get home because it has been quite the week. And the whole point of the medicine is to have the medicine, and then you just kind of have a tranquil, well, given that traffic and HRBT and stuff, which is our tunnel system, which is fucking horrible, but it's supposed to be tranquil. You're supposed to be at peace. You're supposed to focus on good things, not worry about how you're going to make it home and all these other different factors, right? So, long story short, I ended up getting Uber back home, and that was that. As far as noticing any changes, like I said, I am just able to get stuff a little bit more. I'm running a tighter ship, you know what I mean? But I would say I felt a little sad yesterday because some asshole ran over a geese, and on purpose. From what it seemed like I was driving a few cars behind this person. They ran over the geese, and they was just kind of left, and like literally the wing was protruding out of its feathers and all that jazz. So I pulled over. I For the first time in my life, I picked it up, brought it over to the side, told my dad, and he bought some water, and we kind of tended to it. And then I called animal control, and unfortunately they had to put the geese down, or goose. Yeah, goose, because geese is plural, right? Geese were crossing, goose got hit. They had to put the goose down, and that was the most humane thing that could have happened, just because it was, I mean, it had a broken leg and it had a broken wing. So not really a whole lot at that point. It was struggling, little poor thing. But yeah, I felt a little sad. But I mean, I almost felt as if, like, what if I had not intervened and picked it up and moved it to the side? Maybe another car would have came and put it out of its misery faster. But I don't know. I felt like I was doing the right thing, and uh, it is what it is, right? But yeah, that was the highlight of week 2, and now tomorrow is gonna be week 3. So we're gonna get some more treatments, 2 treatments, and then it's gonna be a break off point because I am having my back surgery the following Monday, if all goes to plan, right? So knock on wood, everything will go to plan. I'll have my back surgery, and then I believe I'll be starting it back up in October. So there's going to be a little bit of a lull, but I'm going to bring you along, as I mentioned earlier, for the surgical aspect of things, back surgery, because I know there's so many people out there that suffer with back pain, and it is so debilitating. I mean, my mom, to this day, since I've been a young lad, my mom has been suffering with back issues, right? So and then, of course, my whole neck is pretty much titanium, and now I'm getting a laminectomy and a discectomy, right? Which, Lord willing, everything goes well, and it'll be a pretty short, straightforward procedure. But all in all, that's a quick little update for week 2. This video is already getting a little bit out of hand, but I just wanted to bring you up to speed as to what to expect and what could be and what can't be, things to watch out for, right? Like, just make sure your transportation is on point, make sure that the insurance is sending who they say they're sending, and the company isn't bullshitting you, pretty much. With that being said, I'm still working on the factor video. I should have it up before the surgery. That is my goal. I'm trying to set realistic goals. As for the goal to be 150 pounds by September 16th, I'm still going to try to come as close as I can to 150 pounds, but I do have to take into consideration the fact that my body's going to need protein and other minerals and stuff to heal properly, right? So that is going to be a main focus, but we're still going to be trying to come in as close as we can to that 150.00. We'll see. But that being said, I will take your leave. Just try to have a fantastic week. Do the best that you can. I love your face, and I hope you are safe. I hope you're okay, and I hope you know that you're loved. Bye. See, I'm so nice. I give you a kiss every single time. Like, see, you need a friend like me. We're friends. Bye.